Next Monday, it's a star-studded celebration as the biggest names in television honor TV's biggest legends. Join Ed Asner, Milton Berle, Betty White, Don Knotts, David Letterman, Dick Van Dyke, Mary Tyler Moore, Steve Allen, and more.
How sweet it is.
The Television Academy Hall of Fame next Monday.
Action News 5 is next. Coming up tonight, President Reagan announces U.S. air raids against terrorist targets in Libya.
I warned Colonel Gaddafi we would hold his regime accountable.
It's against Libya.
A cold front that moved through this afternoon is bringing cooler temperatures tonight.
And in sports tonight, Jack Eaton has the final stats for Keith Lee's first year in the NBA. Join us for those stories and a lot more coming next on Action News 5.
Great breakfast deal at McDonald's.
McDonald's, what is it?
Place of the Golden Arches. Ronald, all that?
No, what's the deal?
Breakfast sandwich deal. Costs under $1 to take breakfast by the hand.
Which one?
Oh, either one, right, left.
Which breakfast sandwich?
The 3 biscuit sandwiches, plus Egg McMuffin and their new Sausage McMuffin with egg.
A new one. Can't miss that.
5 breakfast sandwiches, each under $1.
Ah, taking breakfast by the hand, eh?
What's that?
The thing at the end of your arm.
Presenting the full-size Ford Crown Victoria. Compared to the Olds Regency 98, Crown Victoria is bigger outside and inside. Plus, Crown Victoria comes with a standard V8 engine that's unavailable on the Olds sedan. Fact is, by comparison, the only downsize feature on the full-size Crown Victoria is the price. Over $3,000 less. Crown Victoria at your Memphis Metro Ford dealers. The 6 to see.
Draft beer. It's always been the smoothest, freshest beer around, poured straight from the tap. And now there's a true draft beer in a bottle. Miller Genuine Draft. It's not heat pasteurized like most bottled beers. It's cold filtered for real draft smoothness. Miller Genuine Draft. The smoothness of draft beer in a bottle.
It's Love on the Rocks on Divorce Court. From WMC, the news center of the Mid-South, here is Action News 5.
At 7 o'clock this evening, Eastern Time, air and naval forces of the United States launched a series of strikes against the headquarters, terrorist facilities, and military assets that support Muammar Gaddafi's subversive activities.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brenda Wood. Joe Birch is on assignment tonight. Jack Eaton will have sports, and Dave Brown will be here with the weather later in the broadcast. U.S. bomber planes attacked Libya tonight, and President Reagan says the mission was successful. In a nationally broadcast speech, the president said Libya's Colonel Gaddafi counted on America to be passive about terrorism, but that he counted wrong. Calling it an act of self-defense, President Reagan said the U.S. was simply responding appropriately to recent terrorist attacks against U.S. citizens.
Today, we have done what we had to do. If necessary, we shall do it again.
The decision to bomb Libya's terrorist and military headquarters, including its capital city Tripoli, came after evidence surfaced that Libya masterminded the recent bombing of West Berlin Disco. 1 American soldier was killed. 50 other U.S. servicemen were injured. White House Press Secretary Larry Speakes described the evidence.
On the evening of April 4th, Berlin time, we learned that the Libyan People Bureau in East Berlin told Tripoli, Libya, that an attack would take place on April 5th. The attack did take place on April 5th.
Tonight's U.S. attack against Libya came under cover of darkness. Secretary of Defense Caspar Weinberger said all the targets were terrorist-related, and 1 Libyan military base was completely shut down. But he indicated at least 1 U.S. military plane is missing.
All of the Navy planes have returned without casualty. All of the F-111s, with one exception, have been accounted for and are returning. There is one that is not accounted for at this time.
Tonight, President Reagan saluted the servicemen involved in the mission and said though he doesn't think Libyan-backed terrorism will stop, he believes tonight's U.S. attack will serve notice that Libya will have to pay a price.
The slaughter of American civilians and American soldiers, whether in nightclubs or airline terminals, is simply not in the American tradition. When our citizens are abused or attacked anywhere in the world on the direct orders of a hostile regime, we will respond so long as I'm in this Oval Office.
Former President Jimmy Carter says all the facts are not known yet, but he has doubts whether Mr. Reagan's action is the right way to handle Libya. He was at the University of Central Arkansas in Conway tonight for a speaking engagement.
Guess is that this bombing raid on Tripoli and other places will not end terrorism and may very well result in an escalation of terrorism. That's my guess, but I don't know.
Congressional response to the military strikes has so far tonight been generally supportive of the president. Democratic Senator Edward Kennedy of Massachusetts says the raids strike at the heart of Gaddafi's ability to conduct terrorism. Republican Representative Don Sundquist of Tennessee told Action News 5 by telephone tonight that the president almost waited too long to respond.
I was a little concerned that we were going to wait too long for a response, but I think the president acted with patience. He acted with restraint and apparently with some accuracy. That the message has to go across the world that we will not tolerate Americans being threatened and killed.
Democratic Senator Albert Gore Jr. of Tennessee released a statement saying Gaddafi's support of terrorism pushed the president to respond militarily. But Gore adds more facts are needed before we know if the raids were in the best long-term interests of the U.S. The office of Senator James Sasser of Tennessee says he won't have a statement ready until tomorrow. A local expert on international relations says President Reagan did a good job putting the attack in the terminology of self-defense. Dr. Bruce Stanley of Rhodes College has been monitoring the U.S.-Libyan situation closely for some time now, and he says both sides are responsible for the antagonism now because neither the U.S. nor Libya have tried to find a political solution.
Despite what was said tonight, I think there were a number of things on a number of the outstanding issues that we have with Libya that we haven't pursued politically. We haven't used the political means available to us in the international arena, but have tended more to move toward military force.
Here in Memphis, as around the nation, anxious Americans were watching their television sets tonight closely, trying to sort out what was happening in Libya. Mid-Southerners have a variety of concerns, it seems, but as Greeley Kyle reports, most seemed in favor of the actions being taken.
At a local mall's television store, passing shoppers stopped to hear what the administration had to say about airstrikes against Libyan strongman Muammar Gaddafi.
I think it was the right thing to do.
Why?
Sometimes you have to stand for what's right, regardless of the cost.
Concerned citizens watched the situation unfold on the multiple screens. Many, like Tom McCrary, had their minds made up.
It's like the neighborhood bully, you know, when you were a kid. If you didn't stick up for yourself, he made your life miserable. That's what Gaddafi is doing to the United States, or in the whole world, really.
But his wife, Sue, had her eyes on the horizon, worried that war was looming in the distance.
We do have a young man in our family, and he has cousins in the age bracket to go to war, so we hope that there's a lot of thought going into this as this action takes place.
Private Stephen Bent said he's ready for the worst.
I do what I have to do in order to, get rid of him, because I don't like Gaddafi myself. I don't like the things that he's doing. And I think that, they should fight back. America should fight back.
The people I talked to didn't think the airstrikes would end terrorism, but they felt the United States should take whatever military action is necessary to end Libya's reign of terrorism. Greeley Kyle, Action News 5.
NBC will have a special report on the Libyan situation immediately following this broadcast. We'll be back with more news in just a moment.
Sometimes we lose sight of life's natural beauty. Faced with emotional problems such as depression or anxiety, we lose control of the world around us. It's not something you can always handle by yourself. At Lakeside, we understand these problems in a personal way. We can help you regain control and experience real joy once again. If you agree that it's time to start living again, call and talk with us. Lakeside Hospital. Perhaps we can help.
Goldsmiths has their lowest prices of the season during their buyers and managers sale.
How low?
The lowest of the season.
How low is that?
This low. Fine jewelry, 14-karat gold chains, and bracelets are 50% off and more. Sandals from Bernardo, too, are just $19.99. Sony 26-inch color TV is $500 off, just $8.99. And lace sheets are only $9.99, all sizes. How's that for low?
That's low.
Goldsmiths Buyers and Managers Sale. The lowest prices of the season.
There is a way to get the grass control you need without worrying about crop damage. And that's with Fusilade Herbicide. Fusilade gives you over-the-top control of nearly all grasses, annuals and perennials, that compete with cotton or soybeans without damaging the crop. See for yourself what selective over-the-top grass control can do for your operation. This season, go over the top with Fusilade, the grass master.
Let's go. I can't. I gotta cut the grass. Maybe tomorrow will start. It'll start. Come here, I'll show you. Oh, no. Oh, yes.
Toro introduces the 2-year starting guarantee. Your new GTS engine will start on the first or second pull for 2 years, or Toro will fix it free.
Hey, Eddie. Yeah, Dad? Come here. Oh, no. Oh, yes.
See the new Toro GTS engines at these and other fine Toro dealers.
There appears to be a chance tonight that Memphis police officers may approve a contract with the city without going to impasse procedures. Jeanette Morris has the story.
Tonight at a hotel near the airport, about 200 of the city's 1,000 union police officers voted on the city's last contract offer of a 10% raise over 3 years. One contract change is officers would no longer report for roll call 17 minutes before their shift. Under new federal laws, officers would have to be paid for that time. The city plans instead to stagger shifts. After tonight's voting, union attorney Ted Hansom refused to release vote totals or predict the outcome.
I think it's a mixed sentiment. There are some very strong feelings, I think, throughout the entire meeting about officer safety, and that the staggering of shifts may affect officer safety.
In all-day negotiations, the city reversed its decision to end all compensatory time in favor of paying overtime. The city's last offer is to let officers accumulate a limited amount of comp time.
Obviously, in the 11th and a half hour, the mayor's made a major concession to the police union, and he obviously didn't share with me his reasons for such a concession.
Negotiators on both sides of the table appear to agree that despite the mayor's use of the word impasse at last week's city council meeting, an impasse will not be triggered unless police reject the contract and the mayor presents his budget tomorrow. Janet Morris, Action News 5.
The rest of the police will vote tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock before the city council meeting. If the vote is no and the mayor declares an impasse, city council committee, a special committee, will ultimately decide the contract. Last Friday, during a speech here in Memphis, Congressman Harold Ford criticized Channel 5 for its coverage of a federal grand jury which is investigating the Tennessee Valley Center for Minority Economic Development and the congressman's finances. Ford said Channel 5 was putting on a media show designed to embarrass the center. The general manager of Channel 5, Ron Clayman, has now issued this statement concerning the congressman's comments. Quote, "Through the years, Action News 5 has investigated many stories in the public and private sector. That is the job of any good news department or reporter. We are here to bring information to our viewers." Congressman Ford stated last week that Basil Hero's reports are irresponsible. In fact, the station believes that Basil Hero is a highly qualified reporter and that he has reported these matters accurately, thoroughly, and responsibly. It is understandable that Congressman Ford is concerned about a grand jury investigation of TVC and his personal finances. We are too. Basil Hero has received personal threats while covering this story, and this is, of course, a matter of great concern to this station. We will continue to cover this and other stories that affect our community, and at all times, we will treat all sides fairly.
As a business grows, its communications demands change and grow with it. But not all communications networks were designed for growth or change. South Central Bell has the answer. Our network can provide you with the reliable and flexible service you demand, no matter what size your business may be. For the right answers to your communications needs, call on us. South Central Bell.
There's really only one radio station in Memphis you can count on for great music every time you turn it on. WRVR 104 FM. At 104 FM, you can get away from all that rock to enjoy the best by Lionel Richie, the Beatles, Billy Joel, all back-to-back, all day, all night. 104 FM is the station to start your day with fun, to enjoy at work, at home, on the weekends, with music and memories on solid gold Sundays. Anytime you've got to have great music, it's got to be 104 FM.
No, Albert, that's theirs.
Oh.
Show them yours.
Mine? I thought it was ours.
No, that's theirs.
Oh.
Hold it. Show them Carrier.
There.
Good. Carrier will give you a trade-in on your old air conditioner, room, or central when you buy one of ours.
Oh.
Good. No, show them the names.
We buy theirs?
That's where you buy ours.
Ours.
Tell them financing's available and offer ends May 31st.
Okay.
Now show them the Carrier deal again.
Theirs?
Yours.
Mine?
Anybody's.
Well, why didn't you say so? I don't know what to...
NASA investigators today announced they have made a crucial discovery in the search for remnants of the Space Shuttle Challenger. Here's more on that and other stories from Mason Granger.
Searchers off the coast of Florida today retrieved a portion of the right solid rocket booster joint. It's the joint suspected of failing, causing the shuttle to blow up, killing 7 astronauts. Salvage workers say the 2-ton piece of debris has a hole burned through it. In Indianola, Mississippi, schools will be closed again tomorrow for the second day. The city's school system was shut down today because many black parents kept their children out of classes. Blacks in Indianola have been boycotting schools and businesses in a dispute over the naming of a white man as school superintendent. And in Memphis, a block of the South Main Street Historic District is for sale tonight. The Memphis Business Journal reports $800,000 will buy almost the entire block. It's bounded on the west by Maine and on the south by Calhoun. Preservationists are taking steps to protect the facades of the buildings from being torn down. Mason Granger, Action News 5.
The real estate agent says prices are negotiable, but start at $6.75 per square foot. This year's Small Business Day, scheduled for May 12th, is expected to be the most successful yet. Once again, this year Action News 5 is sponsoring the event along with the Small Business Development Center and the Memphis Business Journal. And as Janice Brost reports, next month's events promise to be bigger and better.
You might think if you were going to start a small business, you'd have to be an expert in the business you choose. That's not true, at least in the case of Brian Moth, who owns Shackelford's Florist in Balmoral. He says the key is keeping up with the money you're spending and taking in.
I'm a sales and accounting man. I'm not a florist. I don't know how to make an arrangement. And we watch the numbers very, very closely all the time, almost on a daily basis, to see if we're achieving what we set out to achieve. And the moment the numbers go off track, then we do something about it.
Moth, who bought Shackelford's in 1982 when the business was close to failing, has turned it into a blossoming success. So much so, Shackelford's was chosen as the Small Business of the Year in Memphis by the Memphis Business Journal. Since most people starting a small business don't have the advantage of proven guidelines, they need something like Small Business Day next month. Ed Cole is the director of the Tennessee Small Business Development Center.
At the same time, it provides an opportunity for people in business, in the community, and around the state to address to small business certain things they should be doing to be successful.
This year's event will feature a panel of successful local business people, including Brian Moth of Shackelford's Florist. They'll give tips and answer questions. Last year's event was so successful, Small Business Day has been moved to the Cook Convention Center, where about 1,000 people will be able to attend. Janice Broach, Action News 5.
Now, to register for Small Business Day on May 12th, you can call us here at Action News 5 at 726-0404. Again, 726-0404 between the hours of 10 in the morning and 6 in the evening, Monday through Friday. Now it's time for Jack to talk about sports.
You're a big Keith Lee fan, right?
Of course, he
We're
taught
going
us
to
how
talk
to do
about
the
Keith Lee's
high-five.
rookie year in the NBA when we come back.
Now there's a new and better way to control problem broadleaf weeds and grasses in your soybeans with a tank mix of New Scepter and Prowl. New Scepter delivers season-long control of the toughest broadleaves, including cocklebur and sicklepod. And Prowl is the proven performer for cost-effective grass control. The most advanced broadleaf weed control and proven grass control. New Scepter plus Prowl in a tank mix.
When weeds invade your lawn, you have to fight back by loading up with the best ammunition on the market. Hi, I'm Jerry Baker, and for my money, that means Super K-Grow Weed and Feed from Kmart. Now on sale. Kills common weeds while feeding your lawn a nitrogen diet. For plants, Super K-Grow Plant Food in regular or acid formula. They're on sale too. Well, it's time to reload.
You can't do better than Kmart, the saving place.
Glacier Bay, Alaska, and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Glacier Bay means the one and only Alaskan king crab, sweet, fresh, and big. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer, cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer, and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place, an Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee, and Old Milwaukee Light.
Hey guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Introducing Arby's new barbecue beef sandwich. Tender slices of beef brisket covered with tangy barbecue sauce on a toasted poppy seed roll. Arby's new barbecue beef.
Well, Mets fans were treated to a little extra baseball
Yeah, they
tonight.
sure did. They didn't want it either. The Cardinals and Mets had their first meeting of the season today. It was the Mets' home opener, and not a happy day for the New Yorkers. The game was tied in the 13th inning. The Cardinals loaded the bases with nobody out, and Tito Landrum hit one to third. They went right smack dab through Howard Johnson. A couple of runs came in. The Redbirds had a 4-2 lead, still nobody out. But with 2 outs, it was still 4-2, and Ozzie Smith right there, bingo, line shot to right. A couple of more runs scored, Lapper for the Redbirds. Here are the scores. 6-2, St. Louis over New York in 13. Pittsburgh won 3 in a row. Can you believe that? Beat Philadelphia in 10 innings. The other National League games, only one other in the coast, 2-2 LA and San Diego after 6. In the American League, Kansas City and Baltimore winners this afternoon, as were Texas and California. Tonight, a couple of games. Detroit over Chicago, Oakland down Minnesota 8-7, and the Chicks down in Jacksonville having trouble winning on the road. Jacksonville 8 and Memphis 2. Well, Keith Lee's first year in the NBA ended yesterday. The Cavaliers beat the Chicago Bulls 104-97. Keith had a good game, 14 points and 13 rebounds. And if you've been wondering how he did during his rookie year, here are his numbers right here. Bingo, it had 7.4 points per game and 6.1 rebounds. But in the final 15 games, after George Karl was fired as coach and Keith got to play more, he averaged 10.4 and 8.7 respectively. Now, Keith got off to a slow start because of contract negotiations and a leg injury, but once he got his act together, I think it's safe to say the Cavaliers got their money's worth and are looking forward to Keith's next season with a great deal of anticipation. Well, Wednesday night means wrestling at the Mid-South Coliseum, and watch what happens. That's going to be Jerry Bryant up here on the top rope, and he's going to dive, but he misses everything and landed on his shoulder. Oh, my gosh, they carried him out. He either suffered a broken shoulder, collarbone, or something. Anyway, here are the results of the matches right here as we go. Patrick Tanaka defeated Tony Falk there. Diamond and Tojo defeated Memphis Vice. That is Jerry Bryant and his partner Paul Diamond. Other wrestling matches tonight, we have Billy Travis over Rip Rogers, the Mod Squad down at Hickerson and Morrell, and by disqualification, Mantell over Gaddafi. And Jerry Lawler was supposed to referee the Barbarian, but he was out pillaging someplace, and Tony Falk filled in, and Lawler won by disqualification. Over at Southland Park tonight, the Greyhounds were running, and here's how the Daily Double went.
As they turn for home, it's the 5 on the inside, who's winning easily. As they turn for home, it's the 5 trying to hold on, 7 coming through to finish strongly with a 3.
It's a double 5 and 7, $156.80, and I'm so happy for Keith Lee.
Yeah, I bet you are. Good payoff, too, on the Daily Double.
Okay.
Up next, Dave, talk about the weather.
And a cold front that came through here about noon today. We'll talk about it and what it means to us in just a moment.
This field look familiar? Where the broadleaf weeds do about as well as the beans? Not this year. This year there's Canopy from DuPont. The soil-applied herbicide for residual control of cucklebur, sickle pod, morning glory, you name it. No other pre-herbicide controls as many tough broadleaves as Canopy. Hard to believe? Try it, where your weeds are hard to control.
New Canopy, only from DuPont.
In every Walgreens pharmacy, there's an intercom that saves you time. So no matter where you travel, your current prescription records are as close as the nearest Walgreens. And intercom saves you money by reminding you of generic savings. Walgreens intercom may even help protect you from an allergic reaction. Isn't it nice there's a Walgreens nearby?
When you bring your color film to Walgreens, you can order a second set of prints for only 99 cents. Get next day service, too.
I believe Lewis Ford is having another great sale. It must be affecting your business. Lewis Ford has a great selection of new cars and offers fantastic financing. What have you got? Your brother-in-law, Elmo? Lewis Ford also has a friendly and professional sales staff to assist in your new car purchase. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Come see Will Proven at Lewis Ford, just minutes away at I-240 and Summer Avenue.
Well, Dave's got the whole 5-day outlook for us. Get right to it.
That's right. And we started today with a little bit of rainfall. Not a lot. We had 1,800s reported in Midtown Memphis and also in Whitehaven, 1,700s out in northeast Memphis. High temperature today made it up to 74 degrees. 73 is normal, so we beat normal by 1. Long way from the record, though, of 88 set in 1883. The low for the day is occurring now, 55 degrees. Record is 30 in 1950. The river, 12.4, down 1/10 of a foot. And in the city right now, it is clear and 55 degrees. Winds northwest at 7. The barometer, 30.01 and rising. Relative humidity is 45%. Big spiral storm up in the northern states shows up on the satellite photo tonight. This is a powerful one, bringing blizzard conditions back here to the Dakotas and northeastern Nebraska. That storm is weakening somewhat now, but you can see this swirl of clouds right here. That's the cold front. Came through Memphis about 12:30 this afternoon, ushered in some cooler temperatures back behind it. We'll really start to feel those tonight. Some cloudiness up here over northwest Tennessee, the Boot Heel, and northeastern Arkansas. A few of those will be drifting by, but they won't amount to much. Generally clear skies are going to take control. Super radar shows that most of the rain down south is right along the frontal zone. No thunderstorm showing up, just a few light rain showers. Snow still falling back in the eastern Dakotas and now moving in to western Minnesota. Storm Surge 5 showing no precipitation within 144 miles of the city of Memphis. Cold front should go right on by. High pressure moving in behind it. All of the snow up there we certainly don't have to worry about. It isn't going to be moving southeast. It's going northeast. But take a look at what was going on in South Dakota earlier today. Around Rapid City, they had heavy snowfall amounts, and the interstate highway here was closed for a while. See that snow blowing across, blizzard conditions with high winds, temperatures in the 20s, and the snow still falling in many places, although skies had cleared by the time these pictures were made. Here's the way the map will look tomorrow. It won't show anything like that around here. There may be a snowflake or two up in Canada, but for the most part, the snow will be gone, just replaced by rain along the frontal zone and the Ohio Valley, moving into New York State. Few thunder showers near another low-pressure center over eastern Virginia, most of those out in the Atlantic Ocean. We'll have some sunshine, few clouds, mostly sunshine, though, as high pressure will be over northeastern Texas and northwest Louisiana. Temperatures will be noticeably cooler, though, upper 50s and low 60s for highs over the Mid-South tomorrow afternoon. Here's the forecast for metropolitan Memphis overnight tonight. Skies will remain mostly clear, 44 the low, the winds northwest at 8 miles per hour. Tomorrow, sunny and 47 at rush hour, partly cloudy on average for the day, the high 61, winds northwest at 16 and gusty, so a little breezy, especially late tomorrow morning. Outlook for Wednesday, partly cloudy and 65, sunny and 71 on Thursday. Friday, it'll be partly cloudy, 77 degrees. Saturday, partly cloudy and 79, but with another chance of thunder showers about Saturday afternoon. Tonight will not be the coldest night. That'll be tomorrow night with a low temperature of 42 degrees when you get up bright and early on Wednesday morning.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Coming up next, we'll show you a Memphis man whose fight to find jobs for America's young is being recognized.
Looking for news in the morning?
Try 56 WHBQ AM.
In the AM for Oliver C. Reed.
And Company.
6 to 9 a.m. weekday mornings for Oliver C. Reed.
And Company.
And Company.
One supermarket has spent over a century honing its skills to cut your costs. One supermarket has the buying power of over 1,200 stores. One supermarket can make a difference in your food budget. The supermarket? Kroger. And these cost-cutter scissors mean you get low cost-cutter prices on top-quality national brand products throughout the store. See the difference the cost-cutter scissors make. Go Krogering.
You already know that ClearGuard from Turtle Wax is clearer than Armor All. But did you know that ClearGuard Protectant outshines that cloudy white stuff? Lasts longer, too. ClearGuard's 100% shining and conditioning ingredients beautify and protect rubber, leather, and vinyl. ClearGuard works deep to bring out the natural shine. Sorry, Armor All. ClearGuard from Turtle Wax shines better and lasts longer.
To John Kaiser, who had 6 grand openings in 3 days, Republic awards the first-class upgrade perk.
He's earned it.
Republic Airlines.
Finally tonight, a man with a familiar face and voice around Memphis was honored this evening for his work with young people and his ability to sell Memphis to the rest of the world. Father Donald E. Mowry is better known as Father Don by local radio listeners. He is president and founder of Youth Services USA.
And in particular, we're involved now in job training programs, whereby we take young adults 18 to 24 years of age who are unemployed, and the military and like the VA hospital and others like this give them specific job skills training. And we do employability skills counseling, and the end of the whole thing is to get these young people jobs.
Tonight at the Peabody Hotel downtown, Father Mowry was honored by the sales and marketing executives of Memphis. He is the 25th Memphian to receive the Outstanding Community Sales and Marketing Award. Congratulations to Father Mowry. That is it for us. Immediately following this newscast is NBC's special report on the Libyan situation. We'll be back here tomorrow with more news, sports, and weather, and we hope you join us then. Until then, have a very good evening.
Spin and win on Wheel of Fortune.
The Best of Carson will be seen 7 minutes from now.